Next up, we have Riki Suteki da Ne from the Final Fantasy X HD Remaster soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happening here musically. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, become a member, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time listening to this track, so I will be pausing a lot. Number two, this is happening live on stream. I might stumble upon my words. So, wait, Suteki dane? Oh. It's supposed to be pronounced Suteki dane. You see, I already messed up. So let's see how this goes. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we are 6 seconds in, and we already have a absolutely wonderful thing. Yeah, don't request yet. Wonderful start. We have two acoustic guitars panned on each ear. So let's start with the concept of panning. So panning, for those of you who don't know, is the idea of prioritizing one ear over another when it comes to speakers. Nowadays, stereo is the standard that we have for speakers. Stereo means two speakers, one on the left, one on the right, because, you know, human beings, two ears, one on the left, one on the right. So you have left ear, right ear, you have yourself over here, all happy, deformed, and bald, therefore evil. And what panning is a trick. It's an auditory illusion that you get when the way stereo works is that the audio is split into both channels, left and right, and you can program individual tracks to play that way. So how does it work? When both tracks are playing at the same volume, all the way up, it sounds like it's coming from the front. If you start turning down one of them, the more you turn it down, the more to the other side it's going to sound. So the way we have it is that the right ear has acoustic guitar number one at full volume, at zero volume at the left ear, and vice versa for the second guitar, giving us this whole thing. They are both doing what is called arpeggiation. And arpeggiation just means to play a chord one note at a time. It seems like this is going to be a song, because these usually tend to be songs. So a song is something with lyrics as the focal point. And, you know, it's about going through text, singing, that kind of thing. And when it comes to the accompaniment, which right now is the two guitars, we might have a couple of extra things added to it. We are going to get the introduction, which is usually going to be whatever chord progression we're doing. A chord progression is just what chords you're playing in what order. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so we started with a violin. It's either a violin or a viola, giving us the motif. Motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed from which everything else comes from. It can be as simple as those three notes we heard, and now we're getting a development of it. I just wanted to point out that, yeah, it seems like either this is still going to be the introduction, or this is an instrumental track. Let's see where it goes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so a couple of things have happened here. One, of course, this violin viola is continuing its beautiful melody, and at one point we had the rest of the string orchestra joining in. A string orchestra consists of a few instruments, because usually when you have a string orchestra, Sadra, thank you for the follow, welcome to the mosh pit, you will usually have the director usually sitting on a podium with his little score over here. There's a certain level of insanity you need to have to be a music director or a conductor, so director / conductor, whatever term you want to use, right? And then you will have the violin section number one to this side, which is gonna be anywhere between 4 maybe two for up to like 16, 20 violins. Second section of violins 2, which is going to be another section of the same size. Correct, valid user. There is no such thing. Then we have the viola section, which is usually going to be a little bit less. So let's say if you have, let's say 12 violins in each section, you're going to have 10 violas, because violas are a little bit bigger, which means they're going to be a little bit louder. Then you're going to have the cello section, which is going to be less than the violas, and then you're going to have the double basses, which is going to be less than the cellos. And this entire thing is your string orchestra. Why do I put this like this? Because then over here you get the woodwinds, you get the brass over here, and then you can get like percussion over here for the full orchestra. However, if you take percussion, woodwinds, brass, anything like that out, you still have the majority of the orchestra being the string sections, which is your string orchestra. So right now what we are having is we are having a solo violin, either a violin or a viola. I think it's a viola, giving us this beautiful solo, and then at one point, as a response to what the violin was doing, or this solo was doing, the rest of the orchestra came in to complement, and there was a brief moment of call and response that we had just before I paused, where the melody started from the solo and the rest of the orchestra finished that melody. That is a call and response. It's basically a conversation, and it can be in any combination. Let's see where this goes. Those guitars still doing the thing. There you go. So that was our intro. Okay, so first off, beautiful voice that we're having over here, and she's singing a variation of the motif, but now, because it's a song, our structure is going to change ever so slightly. Because when it comes to instrumental music, you usually want to follow form, which is just a structure, which is going to be divided in sections, such as like the A section, B section, C section, all that kind of stuff, right? But when it comes to song, you are going to be dividing things into intro, verse, chorus, etc. Right now we had the intro, very beautiful, almost 1 minute long intro. Now we are in the verse. C-section, yes, not that kind of C-section. And and we're having a verse right now, and the purpose of a verse is usually to not so much have a very complex melody, but to go through text in a somewhat fast fashion. However, the Japanese being the Japanese, they very often will have a bit of a mix between verse and chorus, because usually a verse is going to be sung in what is called syllabic singing. Syllabic singing is one note per syllable. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like, I am singing in syllabic music, that kind of thing. And then usually the chorus is going to be in melismatic singing. Melismatic means you are singing more than one note per syllable. And that's usually when you have in the choruses, because you end up with those like, oh, that is melismatic singing. However, when it comes to the Japanese, because of the way the language is built, it's like the Japanese language is built for syllabic music, and they choose to ignore it very, very often. So right now we are getting a combination of syllabic and melismatic in this verse while going through the verses, and it's also likely because it is a case of Japanese words can be very, very short to signify very complex terms, right? Very complex what's the word I'm looking for? Very complex concepts. So you can have a word that is like 2 syllables, And in other languages, it might take you like 5 or 6 words to explain what is going on. So with that in mind, then the Japanese can mess around with the language and music and make it so that, yeah, in another language, it might be like 15 syllables for a sentence, and that's 15 notes. But we're in Japanese, so we're gonna make 3 syllables for 15 notes. And that's what we're getting over here. So let's see where this goes. And also notice that the string orchestra has stopped as well. Nice. We bring in the cellos. Okay, I like this. So the cello, panned on the right side, started doing what is called a bass line. The first part of it was a bass line, and then it became a counterpoint. Or I think it's a contrapuntal melody. I think this is what it's called. And basically, the bass line just means you are playing the lowest note of each chord, and you're just making a pseudo melody out of that. And then a counterpoint, the second half, when the cello starts going a little bit further up. One, it's doing counterpoint, doing imitations of the motif that we've been having. Counterpoint, of course, means the study of melodies, how they develop, how they are, how they interact with each other. And when you have multiple melodies interacting with each other that would otherwise be independent, that is considered counterpoint or contrapunctual. And that's what we're getting right now. Let's see where this goes. And 70-second channel, I appreciate it, thank you. Let's see. And there's something beautiful about the cellos playing the high notes. Something else, man. And in comes the string orchestra again. We bring in the drums. And right now we are having a very lovely combination. The guitars went from arpeggiating the chords to now strumming. So when it comes to a guitar, you can do something called strumming. Strumming just means you either take your pick or with your hand and you play all these strings pretty much at the same time. Beautiful, beautiful sound that you can get. You can get, pinking, finger picking, all this kind of stuff. And it is just a beautiful sound, especially with acoustic guitars. And something I forgot to mention. Welcome to the Hayden. Something I forgot to mention was instrumentation. Whenever you have acoustic guitars, because instrumentation / orchestration is the study of picking the right instruments, not just for the right sound, but for the right psychological response. When it comes to an acoustic guitar, the sound of an acoustic guitar is always lovely, but it also has a certain psychological element to it. This element being, it gives you this sense of intimacy. Not that type of intimacy, you pervert. I am talking about emotional intimacy. Whenever we hear an acoustic guitar, it's usually a moment of being either alone or being with close friends, around the campfire, in the living room, just having a good time, singing some songs. And it always has that moment of emotional connection that you feel, emotional intimacy as what I said. So you have that. And when you choose that instrument, that is going to elicit that psychological response. So picking the right instruments for that. And now we are having the guitars being strummed along with the rhythm, with the beat of the drums, because we got drums introduced. And the string orchestra is now coming in and doing, basically just holding the different chords that we're getting. Very, very, very beautiful. Relatively simple. But it's just lovely. Zelmek, welcome to the day, man. How you doing? Yeah, go ahead, man. Enjoy. Beautiful melody. So yeah, we just had also with this change and everything, that was the chorus. You heard how this was a lot more melodic. We were just focusing a lot more on the beauty of it, and it was a complete contrast. Now we're jumping into the next verse. Let's see where it goes. And we got an actual bass now. Nice. And I like this. Now that we had the first chorus doing its thing, with the strings being a little bit more on the legato side. Legato is when you just let them play the notes, right? And we had that. And now we went to the second verse, including that. And it's very, very beautiful because now we have also the acoustic guitars doing their thing. We are bringing back a lot of the musical ideas while at the same time keeping this other one that we had before. Reminds you on Clannad? A little bit. And very, very just lovely. One of the things I wanted to point out is I always love how in ballads you will have drums doing what I believe is called a rim shot. I think it is rim shot. Basically, when you have a snare, snare drum, you will have the image shown like this, right? Like you will have this like this. However, there is a type of hitting this, and I think it's hitting the rim. I think it is called a rim shot, where you place your palm, you grab the drumstick, you place your palm in the center of the drum or somewhere on the drum itself, and you move and you hit the edge, the rim of the drum, and you push it that way while still holding down the pad itself, and it gives you the sound that you're hearing with the drums. That's how you get that sound. And it's such a beautiful way of sounding. It's still a snare drum, and the thing is with a snare drums are very stingy in that sense. They have a very sharp, stinging sound. So being able to counter that by doing these rim shots is just it's such a beautiful part of music. Let's see where this goes. Lovely fill. Bringing back that viola solo. Ooh, we escalate. Beautiful. Oh, shredded, brother! Okay, so we just heard a beautiful viola solo, and it's just beautiful. However, something to note when it comes to solos is that usually a solo is not going to have your motifs, is not going to have a lot of things, not going to have a lot of the elements. The accompaniment is usually going to play again one of the parts that you played before, and then the soloist is just going to go in a completely different direction. Usually, technically, academically, this is not supposed to work. But what happens? In music, just like in many things in life, there is such a thing as the rule of cool. And that's exactly what you get with solos. Nowadays, we also have breakdowns and dropping beats. Dropping the beat, of course, being more of an electronic music thing, and breakdowns being more of a metal thing. But it's always one of those that you can bring usually completely unrelated rhythms and unrelated material in general, completely new material, and it's still going to work. Because when you're making music, you need to have a very, very careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, your listener is going to get bored, tunes out. Too much new stuff too quickly, your listener is going to get overwhelmed, tunes out. So having that balance goes out the window whenever you make a solo, a breakdown, or a dropping of the beat. However, there is too much of a good thing. So even that needs to have a balance. So that is something to also keep in mind. Neobliviscaris, they're cool. They're cool. I like them. Let's Let's see where this goes. Let me refill my water bottle. Okay. Now we have a moment of the string orchestra and the guitars again. Verse. Now we're back to the first version of the verse. Of course, I don't think this is a pure this might be a pure repetition, in which case, if it is, it would be called a recapitulation, which just means revisiting older material from the same piece the exact same way. However, because we just had the whole journey of going through the rest of it, it still can feel kind of fresh. Let's see where it goes. I'm going to refill my water bottle. I think it is the same material, yeah. Not anymore! Now we bring in... Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. And... And we bring the solo viola to harmonize with the vocalist. So let me explain what harmonize means. 1 second, let me just close this water bottle, put this down. So, harmonization. Harmonization. Where's paint? Here we go. Harmonization, or to harmonize, is when you have more than one melody that are the overall same shape, they just have different starting points. They're just starting from a different point in the scale, and they are done to basically just highlight one another, to uplift one another. So usually you're gonna see, like for example, we're having the vocalist giving us that original melody, and now we are bringing I think it's the viola, giving us a harmonized version, similar, almost the same melody, but it's a little bit higher, giving us this extra layer of just pure beauty. Let's see where this goes. And I like it. So part of that melody was harmonization. Part of it was counterpoint. So there was a point in which the first melody, the vocalist was wrong button. The vocalist was going down, and the viola started going the same way, but then started going up. So this, we have two parts in counterpoint. There are two concepts. Number one, we have what is called similar or parallel motion. And then this second one is called contrary motion. It's pretty simple. Contrary motion means when the melodies are going the opposite way. Similar or parallel, they are almost the same concept. Parallel is if it's the exact same motion. Similar is if it's mostly the same notes. So, yes. When you're in a bonus, start humming to the sound of the motor. There you go. There you go. Let's see where this goes. Oh, now the string section, the string orchestra is giving us that counterpoint. Oh, what a beautiful break. That what a beautiful fill. A good way of just transitioning, giving us this descending, falling apart, just landing. No, this was the first of the day. Verse, welcome today. And now we're back in the chorus. Very beautiful. And as you can hear now, this feels a lot more grandiose because we are in the climax, right? We are 4.5 minutes into a 6-minute song. Usually the last 1 to 2 minutes you want to be the climax. How do you do this? You build up as much material, you reuse as much material, and you kind of try to just put everything together in as many layers as you can. So as you can hear probably in the string section, the string section is harmonizing a lot more with itself and not just with the vocalist, because the way it was for most of the song, it was kind of just holding the note, then kind of just holding chords and having maybe the first violins doing a little bit of counterpoint. Now we are bringing pretty much everybody together. Everybody's doing something, everybody's contributing, everybody's just doing everything. Fazi, welcome to the day. How you doing? And a quick moment of bringing it back. Oh, those... So what we're having here is such a beautiful call and response. You can hear it. The vocalist does the call, and the string section does the response. And it is such a beautiful dynamic that even though the vocalist is doing lyrics that would otherwise just be itself, musically, she's having a conversation with the string orchestra in a absolutely just beautiful way that... Say what you will about Final Fantasy, the music is some of the best game music the world has ever seen. So, let's see where this goes. And we bring back that viola. For another solo. As you can hear, none of the motifs are there. Violins giving us that held note, while the guitars slow down. We are back down to where we started. One last chord, and there's still like 45 seconds left in this video. But the song's over. The song's over. I don't know what the other 45 seconds are. Okay, it's just ambient music from the game, so no, we're not counting that. So yeah, there you go. There you go. That was Suteki Dane by, I guess, Riki from the Final Fantasy X HD Remaster soundtrack. Absolutely beautiful. Like, I think this is the second track from Final Fantasy X we've done. No, I think we did Final Fantasy VIII. But Final Fantasy just has insanely beautiful music. And this is an example of that. So there you go. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So if you're watching this on the YouTube archive video thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, become a member, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking it down below in the description. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, if you're on the live stream, do not request yet. And if you're not on the live stream, go down to the Discord, link down below. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned comment. It might seem endless, the list, but I have plans for it. And, of course, if you want to catch these streams when they happen live on air, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to know what time that is for you, links down below to the Discord and the Twitch showing the stream schedule on your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. Follow the gaming channel. That's where we put the VODs of our after shows when we do gaming. Usually me catching up to video games that I should have played over the past 20 years. Links available down below, or just search for Games Are Bastard. Same username as what you see in the channel. Just swap the J for a G and you got it. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. Final Fantasy X music, absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But, yeah, let's move on.